Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rob's Gaming Table. I'm Rob, sorry. Hold on. Let me start over. Welcome to Rob's Cafe. I'm Rob. I don't know why I call it Rob's Cafe. I don't own the cafe. I just come here to meet with you guys and chat about random things in the industry and crowdfunding campaigns and tabletop gaming in general. Yeah, it's been a weird week. It's been a while since I've done one of these Rob's Cafe. Not been much on crowdfunding. That's really interested me in doing this or any kind of topics that would inspire me to sit down and do one of these. But it's been a strange week. Some things have happened. And a little backstory, quick backstory. The last game we streamed on the channel was Euthia, Torment of Resurrection, last weekend. And during that stream, there was talk of me wearing a wizard hat. So this is like what you're here for. This is a super important thing. As we see here, Yogi in the chat is here for the wizard hat. David's here, wizard hat. Okay. There was some other comments too. So yeah, the big news this week on the channel, there was talk of buying a wizard hat for our next Euthia Torment of Resurrection stream, and I would wear the wizard hat in the stream. People are donating. I don't know what was going on. If you weren't there, just, yeah, don't worry about it. But sad news. Super sad news. So I placed an order for that hat, and that order got canceled. Two orders actually placed. So I know this is why you guys are here. This is the big news, the big cancellation this week. I ordered a wizard party hat from my local party store. They have a chain. They have different locations. Their website is trash. Their e-commerce is obviously garbage. I placed an order for this hat from a location that was not too far away, because the ones near me didn't have it, so I couldn't just go to the store and get it. So I ordered it from like an hour away, and they canceled my order. So then they had one in stock, it said. So then I was like, they canceled my order, okay? They couldn't get it from another store. Like, I didn't understand. It didn't make sense. So then I ordered from another location like 2 hours away that had multiple in stock. And just before the stream started, I got another email saying that order was canceled. So I now have to go buy my wizard hat somewhere else. But I don't know if I buy my wizard hat, because this is not the only cancellation that happened this week. On a second, not as exciting note, Euthia Torment of Resurrection, the game we played, got canceled on GameFound in the middle of the project, which is weird. And they were 500% funded. Woo! Woo, guys, we got so much money, 500% more than we needed. Woo! Yeah! Oh, we're canceled. And it's gone. So stupid. But anyways, yeah, there was another cancellation. It was not just the wizard hat. That's the most important one. There was also this like board game on GameFound crowdfunding campaign site, not Kickstarter, you know, the knockoff Kickstarter. Just kidding. Sort of. But yeah, it got canceled. So we're here to discuss this. Full disclosure, this company, Dia Games, reached out to me. I don't know when it was. I feel like it was like late 2019. Maybe it was. They reached out to me around the holidays. I was busy doing other things, kind of ignored them, never heard of them. I get emails all the time from game publishers with their first game, and I'm going to Kickstarter. Here's my crappy pictures, or my email with no information about my game, or a link to a BGG that doesn't explain the game at all. No pictures, no rule books, no marketing data whatsoever. This company reached out and said, here's our game. They had a rule book pinned to it, and I said, oh, okay, they sent a rule book. I'll look at this later. And I forgot about it for like a month or two. And then I finally sat down with Mel. I actually went through the rule book, part of it, and was like, okay, it's like, obviously translation was not their best suit at the time, which is fine. But at least they had a rule set, because they were basically translating the game to English and making a revised English edition of an existing game that sold well in their language already. So I was like, okay, the game exists. I went and watched videos not in English to see the game kind of on the table and be played. And I was like, okay, it's actually a game. Looks decent. Looks like something I play. Then I started reading through the rules, and I was like, showed Mel, and I was like, Mel, does this look like something we should learn and play? It's kind of big and epic. It's like, this sounds really cool, this game, actually. But like, I don't know this publisher. Like, they've produced one game before in a different language. Like, are they really cool? So I started reading in forums about them and stuff. I was like, okay, they seem pretty cool. So I reached back out to them and said, yeah, I'll cover your game if you still want me to. It's been a couple months, so I would totally be okay if you guys said screw you. But no, they were like, yeah, we don't have any more prototypes. They've been given out to all the content creators. We're going to have a content creator send you one of theirs when they're done using it. If you can learn it and play it quick enough, we would love for you to make a stream or a video, whatever, for our campaign. I said, yeah, okay, I'm down. The game looks cool. You guys are doing a good job so far. Send it on over. I'll give it a shot. And yeah, the rest is history. We made tons of playthrough videos. I fell in love with the game. It's one of my favorites. And yeah, they did pretty good on their first crowdfunding campaign. And so yeah, I didn't buy the game. I got a prototype, and then they were kind enough to they told me, like, don't worry about backing it, like we'll get you a full game. So like I expected to get a retail copy to play through like the final version on the channel, make some content for them, not being paid whatsoever, just getting review copies, and playing. So I chose to support them in a different way. They give me a copy, and then I'll play it, and they ask, could I play it when the game comes out and it's on the web store, and when we launch our next campaign, can you play it again? I said, yeah. They're like, you don't have to. You do whatever you want with it. Go nuts. Like you're not being forced to anything, because obviously they're not paying me, so I don't need to do anything, right? But I fell in love with the game. Like honestly, I did love the game. You guys know I love the game. Yeah, there's some issues with setup, and the box that arrived was like 10 times bigger than the prototype game I played, which was like a final game. So yeah, it takes up like a full Kallax cube when you jam all the stuff in a box. It's a huge epic monster, and getting it out on the table, it's lots of rule books, all this kind of stuff. It's huge, but it's fun. I like it. It's a really cool game. And yeah, I love fantasy, love adventure, love all that stuff. So that's my full disclosure. So that's my relationship with Euthia, or Dia Games, I should say. But they canceled this project, and normally this is not the first time this has happened. This has happened with other crowdfunding campaigns where these false stretch goals, fake stretch goals, the whole thing bugs the hell out of me. But it's like, because everybody's doing it, you kind of have to do it in the industry, or else you just get left behind, because people don't like kind of spend the time. People just want to see like what the game looks like on the table and how cool your miniatures are, and they'll back it, right? They don't care to look in like, are the financials correct? Are they, is there some shadiness going on here? Lots of people don't dig in that far and care, right? But it's something that's bugged me. It's, when you see all these crowdfunding campaigns over the last like 10 years that cancel, that are fully funded, and they cancel, and they're like, sorry, we needed more than what we had. And you're like, wait a second. You were like posting marketing images, funded in 6 minutes, funded in 7 minutes. Oh my God, funded in 30 seconds. Oh my God, we crashed Kickstarter.com. Oh my God, amazing, amazing. And then you find out they canceled because it was like all lies. And it's like, I'm not for companies lying to me. Like, it's kind of very dishonest, but it's something that's become such a normal in crowdfunding in board games, that you have to set a low bar. You have to have fake stretch goals. You have to build the hype train to get people to give you their money, because it's a crowded market, right? It's so crowded. And if you're not playing by the unwritten rules, you're going to get forgotten and left behind. So another one bites the dust. And when I've seen this has happened multiple times, and I just shake my head and I go, who cares? I don't even give a crap. I move on. I have so many games to play. There's so many Kickstarters and crowdfunding games that I back that are on their way, or that I'm waiting to show up. Tomorrow there'll be a new game that you'll want to back that'll pop up on crowdfunding. There's multiple crowdfunding sites now, tons of publishers pumping out games. They're using it as a pre-order site. There's just no shortage of games you can throw your money at if you want to. So when one cancels, honestly, personally, I'm like, who cares? I don't even think about it for more than like 30 seconds. I go, oh, well, who cares? There'll be another game. Who cares? Right? But this one was a little different. This one's a little different just because it had a special place in my heart. I had fun with the game. I love the game. It was fun, like helping out the company at the beginning when they were, trying to do their first Kickstarter. It's fun. They were taking my feedback, and we were working, together, trying to help them with the rule book and like some of the issues of iconography and stuff I was having. They were cool to work with me and try to, help me understand the game, and then let them know from my gaming experience how they could kind of do things a little better. So it was neat seeing the game come to fruition, and it blew my mind what arrived. Way more craziness than I expected it to be. But yeah, so they canceled 500%. So we're going to get into all the reasons why could they have canceled. I haven't heard from them. I didn't email them. I figured I'd leave them alone. There's more to this supposedly, but we'll go over like what responses have been put out there by employees or former employees of the company. I believe the company is folded based on this. So it's not just the campaign ending, and you'll with those other campaigns, they go away, and then you're like, they'll come and launch it again. But this one's different too, because they canceled it, and then it seems like the company's done. Like they're done making board games. Like they're out. See ya. So what? Like, man, I'm blown away. So I decided I wanted to discuss it, and I was going to just chat with our producers in the Discord about it. But then Mel's like, you should probably make a stream, because there's more than just, the producers that got this game. joined us in playthroughs, were part of this, like, you know, swell of Euthia on the channel, and it has like a special connection to the channel, I feel. Because I don't like usually playing a lot of Kickstarter prototypes. I turn a lot of them down. But this was a beautiful prototype. It was made like at a production facility, and I was like, man, they had the rule set together. It was just basically translated. So I was like, man, if it looks pretty on the table and it's close, a very close representation of what somebody would buy, I'm willing to kind of show it off if it looks solid, right? So it's one of those rare games that I actually had like a very good prototype. It was like pretty much a finished game. But then they blew it out of the water and like tripled the content or whatever it was, and went nuts with the crowdfunding. So they came back to GameFound, or they came back to crowdfunding on GameFound, trying to get money to reprint the game, do a next print run. And also, multiple expansions were in here. And I didn't even know anything about the expansions. I thought it was just going to be a little expansion they were going to add to the game. But nope, they were going crazy. We'll talk all about that. Why they could have failed. We'll talk about fake funding goals. And we'll talk about alternatives. Some other games you could possibly play instead of this one if you didn't get in on it. Where you can go find those and maybe get your fix if you're looking for this type of game. But I don't know if there's anything like that's 100% similar to this game. Like, I would argue there's probably some that are like 70% similar to this game. This game has some unique things about it. And we'll talk about that later in the stream. So that's what we're here to do. We're just hanging out in the cafe today, not going through a bunch of crowdfunding projects. We're just talking about Euthia, Torment of Resurrection, and Dia Games. I guess canceling and closing up doors at the shop. Closing up. They're done. I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, it might not be the end of Euthia, though. I have faith. Based on like all the feedback and the crazy people out there who are like really wanted the game, and a lot of people that didn't back the game and were just kind of waiting for like all-in pledges and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about that a little more too. Like, you know, but they could like it might not die. And like I say, a game that's great, you know, that goes out of print or you can't find, it will always be like reprinted later. Someone will grab the design. Someone will make a very similar game. Someone will take the IP, you know, some other publisher will buy it. Some other publisher will hire the designer. It'll come back in some form. Like every great game will come back usually, right? Like, you know, if it's really, truly that great and people want it, somebody will try to make money off it, right? It's just always things come back. So, you know, yeah. All right. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone joining live. Hello. Hit that like button on your way in, please. If you could, helps other people find this video on YouTube. Helps YouTube kind of promote it with the algorithm. Thank you so much. And if you want to join the chat, if you're new here, I have the chat should be on subscriber only mode. That is basically to stop all the bots that come in on YouTube and start spamming in the chat with stupid emojis and porn links and stuff. So if you want to come and join us in the chat, just hit the subscribe button. Or if you just want to watch future discussions like this or playthroughs of games like Euthia, big epic campaign games, big epic, you know, adventure games, we play those on the channel here. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and you can join us in future live streams. If you're looking for our Euthia playthroughs, you know, you want to cry while you watch a playthrough, there are links. I don't know if I put the links to the playthroughs down below, but they should be there. If not, check our playlist section at youtube.com/Rob's Gaming Table. And you can check out those there. Alrighty. Yeah. Weird week. Other things happened to me, like, man, threw my week right off. Another one that you guys probably noticed, anyone who's watching our Star Wars Imperial Assault playthrough series, Kyle canceled. So that got delayed till next week. So that threw me off on Tuesday. Monday, some things happened and, you know, not serious, but it just threw me right off. We're also trying to learn Folklore, the Affliction to play for this weekend. And man, anyone who's played that game or read that rule book or tried to learn that game, yeah, it's not a fun experience. Hopefully the gameplay, you know, makes up for it, but that's also driving me bananas. So, yeah, so it's a weird week. And then I hear about this yesterday, or the day before. Maybe it was the day before. I don't remember. Maybe it was yesterday. I don't remember. Anyways, holy chat. But hello, everybody. Grab a coffee, grab a seat. We're going to chat about this. We're going to talk about different things. I made a list of things to discuss, so hopefully we can chat it all out in the next 2 hours. We're streaming again at 3 o'clock, playing some Gloomhaven Digital. Come and join us for that if you want to hang out on our Friday Gloomhaven Digital streams. We're just going to play some casual Gloomhaven, play a scenario or a quest or whatever. So we do have a limit to this one, is what I'm saying. So, yeah. So we'll be going for like 2 hours, I think. Maybe 2.5. We'll see. We'll see how we can get through this stuff. Yeah, see, lots of people are sad. Like, it's a #1 Kickstarter. I was so looking forward to this game. There is, let's see, I can do it over here. Go here, let's go here. Sorry, just trying to find some stuff in the chat. Adam's saying, any thoughts on the company getting bought? I don't know. It could happen, though. If anyone has been around in crowdfunding or in the hobby for a while, there was a game. It was like a Monopoly clone. I forget what it was called. I remember it was like Cthulhu themed and had like Monopoly art. I forget what it was called, but it had like, it failed after funding and finalizing. The company mismanaged funds. It went under. There was tons of backers that weren't getting their copies. And another company came in, picked it up, and finished off the game, got it printed, got it to backers' hands at a loss, basically. What was it called? I can't remember. I'm just drinking out of a Tim Hortons mug. It's not Tim Hortons coffee I'm drinking, just so you know. I just love that mug. It's like just a desk mug with like a lid on it. Keeps the coffee hot the whole time I stream and ramble on and forget about it. I could still drink it like an hour from now, and it's at least still pretty warm. Oh, yes, the Doom that came to Atlantic City. Yes, Billy, yes. Yes, the Doom that came to Atlantic City. That is one I always remember, but it was at a different stage, right? It had already taken everyone's money. It already spent, like, I think, years developing it, trying to get it printed, and then they just announced to everyone, sorry, Kickstarter backing, crowdfunding campaigns, nothing is guaranteed. You're just putting your money to hope you get something in the end, but there's no guarantee. There never is a guarantee. But this game got picked up by another publisher. They printed it, delivered it. Everyone got their game. Everyone was kind of happy. It was a success story. It was good, positive PR and marketing for that company that picked it up and saved the day. So there's always a chance. There's always a chance somebody comes in and reaches out to Dia Games, and if they're still willing to get this printed or back it. And I see some people talk about Awakened Realms in there. Maybe they could work with Awakened Realms and, reach out to them. And I don't know. It's a little weird. So, some things I want to discuss. Let's see here. Let's go over the update. We should go over the update. That would probably be the best thing. All right, so let's scale back. So anyone who doesn't know what's going on here, the reason we're doing this today is there was an update on this GameFound campaign for Euthia and the expansion that just popped out. Update. It was from. Oh, it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday morning, I think. Yeah, it was yesterday. So it was just called shutting down the campaign. Okay, I got this in my email and was like, another one of these? Like, I follow a bunch of games, and this has happened multiple times. And I normally, like I said, I'm just shake my head and I go, okay, so something was mismanaged here. But on the back end, I've known that Dia Games have been sending me emails. This project was supposed to happen months ago. It's been delayed multiple times. They've been trying to get their stuff together. Also, with the full disclosure, they asked me to hold off on a playthrough to play the game around when this campaign launched. Then they reached out to me, said, like a couple months ago, said they might be able to get me a prototype of some of the new expansion stuff. And I went, okay, cool. But then they reached out saying, actually, it's going to come from another content creator, and we can't guarantee they can get it to you in time. I don't know which content creator got that, but they were dicking them around, obviously, and couldn't get me in time. And I said, just don't worry about it. They couldn't guarantee me getting it during the campaign. And I said, I don't want to be waiting by my mailbox, waiting for something to come that I have to then rush, learn, try to get on the channel and play. I've got other games and other rulebooks to dive into. So I just appreciate, like, just not knowing. I asked them if they could just get me a copy before the campaign so we could learn it and play it. But we weren't high enough on the priority for Dia Games. So honestly, I was just like, okay, cool. I'll just wait till the thing is done, and I'll buy it off their web store, or maybe they'll send me the thing when it's finished, and I'll play it, the final copy, on the channel. It'd be fun. Like, I figured me just playing Euthia on the channel is enough to show you guys whether you want Euthia or not. Like, the expansions just look like more goodness. So yeah, so that's another behind the scenes thing. And then when I saw this on my email, I was like, what the heck? Like, I thought things were good, but it says, dear backers and followers, with a broken heart, we have to announce our crowdfunding on GameFound has failed. And it's like 500% funded. Like, this doesn't even make sense. If you've never been through this before, your brain starts to short circuit. You're like, wait, things can fail before the campaign's even done and they take your money? Like, that's a thing? But it happens. And then usually they relaunch and stuff. But it says, it is very hard for us to explain everything. But in a simple way, it is just about the number of backers we have. Since we were aiming at a number... Oh, let me hide this. Sorry, guys. Since we were aiming at a number... Whoops. Let's get this bigger. Let's go. Yeah, there we go. Since we were aiming at a number of 6,000 backers to be able to safely produce the game with all add-ons and expansions, we know that there is no way we can beat this number now. On top of all, we don't want to jeopardize our money with an uncertain outcome of this project, and that is the main reason why we will rather cancel it now than deal with a lot of trouble later. So that to me says we don't have money to play around with. So even if we got lower than the 6,000 backers, we would have to pay extra on the higher cost of a lower print run. So anyone who doesn't know how it works when you want to get something manufactured, you negotiate with the factories, all the companies that are making components for whatever you're building or boxing or whatever, and they quote you on, if you print 10,000 of it, this is how much it costs. If you can print 100,000 of it, this is how much it costs. They give you like different estimates, right? So these guys said, okay, they got numbers from the factory probably months ago, maybe even a year ago, who knows? And they were told, if you can get at least 6,000, we can give it to you for this cost. We'll print you this many copies. And obviously Dia Games was like, we need some for our backers. We need maybe some for retail. We need some for our web store. We need some for missing components and that kind of stuff. So they were like, yeah. If we get 6,000 backers, we'll probably print 10,000 copies, maybe. We'll put, a couple thousand of them or whatever, 4,000 of them on our web store to sell maybe after, or late backers and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm not sure. But they were expecting, here's the crazy part, they were expecting 6,000 backers during, like, halfway through the campaign. Okay? So if you start thinking crazy numbers, if they were hoping to have 6,000 by yesterday, and they still had, I don't know, days, weeks to go, and I know from hearing industry insiders saying that you get roughly 30% more sales in the late pledge manager, whatever, in the pledge manager after, like 30% of all sales, like retail, Kickstarter, all this stuff, crowdfunding, GameFound, all that, 30% of it comes from just late pledges. Okay. So add 30% more to this they were expecting to get in late pledges. Okay. Plus the second half of the campaign. Okay. So they were probably needing like 10,000 total purchases maybe, or something more than that. And they just did the math and said halfway through the campaign, we're not even close. So if we're only getting 30% more in the late pledging, that's not enough. And then we'll do less sales on our web store later of those other copies. That's not enough. And they went to the factory and said, okay, we're only going to need like 3,000 copies now. And they said, well, it's going to cost you like 3 times as much to make your game because it's a lower print run, molds, production, all that kind of stuff. And they just went, oh man, we can't afford that. We're already like in debt from our last campaign. We're paying our employees. We're trying to keep the lights on. We're trying to work on new stuff. And it's just not enough. This 6,000 is like just enough so that they don't have to take out more loans. So that's what I get from this. This is what I get from this. But again, this is all speculation. This is all just me having fun speculating. This is what nerds we do. We love doing this. I love doing this. So I don't know anything behind the scenes. This is just from different things I've seen on other videos, on posts online of other publishers that do crowdfunding campaigns. And when they post about, them canceling, them ending, what the real behind the scenes stuff is, this is what I'm starting to put together as a consumer from the front end. So yeah, it's crazy. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Oh, man. Oh, Tiny here. Tiny knows. So Tiny says, there is so many have pledged that have canceled after getting 500+% funded. Tiny is a member of our community that has backed like so many games. I don't know. I know how he keeps it all under control and keeps track of everything. I've seen it firsthand. But Tiny, you blow my mind. But Tiny is like an expert. He is like the consumer side expert. He would know more on this stuff than me. Being through it as a consumer so many times. There's so many they pledged that canceled after getting 500% funded. It's a scumbag move in my opinion. There's only been a few campaigns that publish an actual real goal needed. And yes, we'll talk about fake funding goals from both sides. But yeah, I hinted at it a bit earlier. But yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. So the rest of it says the GameFound campaign is going to be shut down very soon. But you don't have to worry. You will not be charged anything. Don't worry. We didn't take your money. Our company, Dia Games, will end its work from today. And I assume when I first read this, they just meant on the campaign or on the new expansion. but we will fulfill our commitments about delivering new metal coins as we promised to those that had black smudges on them. Backers from the Kickstarter and online store, I guess, got metal coins with black smudges. They'll still print those, fix those, get you new copies, and they're in production as they speak. So don't worry. They're not running away with anyone's money. They don't owe anyone anything. So please don't, get your pitchforks out and try to take them down because they stole your money. They didn't steal anyone's money. They were just scared of going in so much debt, to make an expansion, do a second print run of the game. It's supply and demand. It just wasn't there. They didn't want to put more money up and risk, lose all their retirement savings, have to sell their house, have to live on the street. They just said, no. The scary light at the end of the tunnel just went out. Like they were like, no. Take good care of each other, because at the end of the day, only our loved ones and the people we care about are most important in our lives. Basically, guys, it's just a friggin' game. Okay, it's just a game. But I see people freaking out, writing, Euthia, posting. I see there's one guy who posted, literally, I was reading today through Reddit, Facebook, YouTube. No, Facebook. Where else? On the comments. There's like one guy who's posted like this. He's cut and pasting his comment like everywhere. But yeah, there's so many people that are like going after them, like, oh, come on, man. Like, what the hell? You screwed me over. I really wanted your game. How dare you? Like, just move on. It's just a game, guys. It's just a game. This sucks. Okay, I was gonna come at this when I first heard it. I was like, oh my god, another one of these publishers with the fake funding goals, screwing everyone over. But they didn't screw everyone over and like cancel after taking everyone's money. They didn't 3 months from now say, sorry guys, we screwed up. We can't make this game for you. No refunds. Sorry. Bye. They didn't do that. So they kind of did it ahead. So, but it's sad. It's very sad. I've been talking to these people for a couple of years now. They're very nice. They've been very kind. They've joined our chats every time we're playing through. Super nice. Yeah. And they don't have to do that. A lot of publishers don't join our live streams when we're playing their game. But these guys will have multiple of them. They'll be in there hanging out, even though it's like 2 a.m. their time while we're playing. So yeah, they really care about the game. There was a lot of love put in these boxes and in these designs. I just don't know if there's a lot of good business smarts at this publisher. I just don't know. But they're just a small publisher. Who knows? All right. So, yeah, they're awesome. They are, David. They are awesome. I agree. Here. Let's get, yep. People at Die Games are awesome. I don't know why your logo there is not loading there, David. But, all right. So, where's my list of things to discuss? Let's see. Here we go. I want to make sure I cover everything that I was like thinking yesterday and today. All right. Right here. So this was an employee of the company. I don't know how to say the name, Aladejex. I'm not sure how to say it, but he's very active in the Euthia groups. He's very active in our live streams over the years. He's a very passionate member of their company. And this is how I realized that it was truly the company was done. When he posted this, even though this is one of the darkest moments in my life, I would like to write my gratitude to all of you who believed in us and support us on this difficult journey. I always thought Euthia has the potential to become a really incredible game that can evolve for years and bring joy to many people. But we stated in the years which buried dreams for many. But we started in the years which buried dreams for many, and finally we ran out of options and luck. I think they're talking about like this happening during COVID. They had issues. Obviously, their game was Kickstarted right at the beginning of COVID. And then they have to deliver their game. They delivered it pretty quickly, but they obviously paid way more in shipping than when they originally set out and planned. And then they were asking for money, I think, or people donated. So there was an issue with they paid a lot to get Euthia in people's hands, and I bet they didn't make any profit on that. I bet they ate a lot. And they were hoping this next crowdfunding campaign would help get them back into the positive and get more people, in the fold in the Euthia ecosystem or whatever. But we did not do a promise we could not keep. Even though it is hard for us, I still feel that we achieved something amazing, and there are many people and friends all around the world who will be happy when they play our game. I am so sad about many things. The content we prepared for the campaign was amazing, and I was really looking forward to seeing our supporters have the same joy as we had working on the design. I am sad for Tadius and Marquita. Those are the two, like, I think it's a husband and wife team that are basically like head of the company or whatever, who worked more than many of us can do for 6 years with such an end. And for Tomas, who already developed the game, we thought it would be our next project. Yeah, okay, so he had another game coming, I guess. I write this with a tear in my eyes because they are such amazing and honest people, and it was an absolute honor to work with them. For me, it was a dream job. I wish you the best. Nobody knows what the future brings, but right now life seems to be really rough. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. And then on a heartwarming note, I saw this one in the Facebook group, David Greenwald. So there's a lot of people in the groups, the Reddits, or the Facebook groups, I should say, the Discord, all this stuff. There's people all saying like they're nice, kind things. But I thought this one was fun because I was mentioning it, so I thought it was cool. David says, here's my Euthia story. I had seen a couple of playthrough videos courtesy of this awesome guy, Rob's Gaming Table. If you guys haven't seen Rob's Gaming Table, you need to go check it out. Awesome place. What? Huh? Oh, I'm being dishonest? What? And thought the game looked interesting. I was on the fence about backing the Kickstarter and wound up not getting it. Fast forward to the game coming out and going through fulfillment. I was still interested, but still not sure. I inquired about the extra copies available and was told of the availability. I really wanted it, but it was so expensive. Then the online store opened and I kept going to it. I even put it in my cart a couple of times. Been there. I've been there so many times and done this where I add a game. I'm discussing with Mel. We're going to buy a game. I add it to the cart. I see the shipping. I see the final cost. And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I close it. I've been there and done it so many times. Mel knows. But still couldn't pull the trigger. I was afraid to spend the money, but also afraid to miss out. FOMO was eating at you, David. Then there was only one copy left in the store and I grabbed it. Oh, you crazy bastard. Waiting till one in stock? You're nuts. I'm so glad I did. It is currently my favorite game. On top of that, the people at Dia Games are so helpful and engaged with the community. I wish them all the best. The community has built up around this game is incredible. The combination of the company and the community gives me the feeling of Too Many Bones and Chip Theory games. Well said. Well said. And I mean that as a huge compliment, says David. Sorry for the long post. P.S. I'm now kicking myself for not getting the organizer. Aw. Oh, that's so sad. But that's like a heartwarming one on multiple levels. Not just because he mentioned the channel. I just read it and was like, that was cute. He found the game through us and was like sitting there in the cart, like, add it to cart, remove it from cart. You've all done this. And watching the stock numbers drop. It's like back in the, the 80s and 90s, your grandparents or watching the shop. I guess it still probably happens, right? Watching on cable, the shopping channel. Oh, we only have 200 left. We only have 200 left. Call in now. This is your last chance. Oh, the number's ticking down. Oh my God. That's my picture. That's so funny. Oh man. Crazy. But yeah. All right. Let's just put Bob in a timeout. Bob's being snarky. Okay. Let's see here. How you like me now, Bob? I know I'm not awesome. I know I'm not awesome. David G says, "Oh, David is that you, David G? I just put that together. Oh, that's me. I see. Yes, David. Yes. Okay, here we go. Hashtag Rob made me buy it. Okay, I didn't put that together. I'm not the quickest bunny in the forest. You know this, David. You know this. All right. Oh, Ala is the community manager. Oh, okay. I get it. Actually, let's do this one. Okay, we'll go back to that in a sec. Sorry, let me just catch up on the chat. Yeah, that's the Cabra. Got him out of here. Telling me, yeah. No, I'm just joking. I'm just messing with you, Bob. I'm sorry. I just thought it'd be funny. Oh, he's probably left already. All right. So what's next on the agenda here? Okay, let's talk about the funding goal. All right, let's talk about this. Okay. One sec here. So if they did, all right, let's go back to this. So the project, where is it here? The project, okay, let's look at the numbers. I did some quick math. Okay, project was canceled. They were at 2,000 backers, 2,161 backers. Okay, they had like €500,000. Okay, which I think US dollars is like close, right? Is that close? Let's just copy it. I'm pretty sure. Let's do to USD. Yeah, it's like $500,000. Okay, in the US greenbacks. Okay. So if we do our math right, does this sound right? They wanted 6,000 backers. Okay, so they needed 3 times the backers mid-campaign. Okay, or maybe total. I don't know. Okay, 3 times the backers. So that tells me that they needed 3 times the money, right? Right? Are we good? You following? So that means they needed 1.5 million US dollars at minimum to feel safe and comfortable. Okay. But I'm looking here and see that they are 500% funded of only 100,000 euros. Okay. So they put a $100,000 goal, but really needed at least 1.5 million US dollars. Right? Am I right? Is that a good estimate? That's crazy. That's a bunch of BS, right? That drives me nuts. Okay, this pisses me off. It's dishonest. It sucks. I've ranted about this before, but basically, this is a company lying to you. Okay, this happens all the time on Kickstarter, on crowdfunding in general. It's a normal thing. They choose to play like everyone else plays. Somebody started it. Somebody decided to play dirty and thought, okay, we realized if we fund really fast, it creates hype. We start unlocking stretch goals. People come in, they start backing it. The buzz is there. People start posting about it on websites and talking about it on podcasts and going crazy, making YouTube videos. Oh my God, this game funded. It's at 1,000% funded. It funded in 30 seconds. Oh my God, everyone needs to get it. FOMO, FOMO, FOMO. Somebody did it and it worked. Okay. Then everyone started doing it. And now if you don't do it, you're not going to get the buzz. You're not going to get the hype. People won't back you because they will compare you to every other campaign. And if Euthia was to come in here, if Dia Games were to come in here and put a $1.5 million minimum goal to reach before they were even funding, people would not have faith. They would be afraid to put their money on the campaign. They wouldn't even try. Okay? People are lazy. It's just the way it is, right? For some reason, people get excited if trying to unlock a little stupid extra card stretch goal on a campaign that they will post about on social media. Everyone needs to back it. They'll call their friends and family. You know, they'll trick grandma into backing the game just because they want to unlock one extra miniature or one extra card. It's disgusting. Super disgusting in my opinion. You've all done it. I know some of you have done it. I've done it. It's disgusting. It's stupid, right? But that's why they do it, because they'll make more money in the end. They'll sell more copies. And when it's between the difference of funding or not funding, you got to play with the rest of them. You got to stoop down to everyone's level. So now everyone does it, right? But it is proven if you come in at a realistic stretch goal, if they put $1.5 million, no, they wouldn't reach it. People just wouldn't put in the effort to say, please, please, please fund it. I just want the base game at least. Please fund it. Like, people don't do that for some reason. I don't know. That's just what I've seen. I'm very much generalizing. I'm wrong in some cases, but it's definitely a thing that happens for sure. I know I've done it for sure. For sure. Bob says, I'm not being snarky. I'm being constructively obnoxious. Okay, carry on, Bob. Carry on. Oh, my God. All right. Let's see here. So we will get into reasons why I think it failed. But again, like, I started off when I saw this, I was pissed. And I was like, F them, F this stupid stuff. I always get mad when I see companies do this. I shake my head, I laugh, and I say, serves you right. Karma gotcha. But then there's companies like Simon that are using this as a pre-order system, and they're already printing the game. They're already sending it to retail. They're making hundreds of thousands of copies, and they just come on here to see if they can get some more people to help them, you know, fund their loan, fund the print run. And they don't need it, but maybe they do, because, you know, they've got so many things in the pipe. They just need that flow. But yeah, then you have a company in here that comes and plays by the same rules, but it just misses and it fails, and they have to shut down the company. So there's some issues there too, right? So I calmed down after. I sat for a minute, I thought about it. I was like, they're just doing what everyone else does. They have to play that stupid lying BS, lie to the customer, put a fake funding goal, BS marketing, because people fall for it. There's a bunch of you idiots out there that fall for it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it, right? If everyone voted with their wallet and didn't back campaigns that did this, we wouldn't have this problem. But because people do, you know, we've set the bar low. It's a scumbag thing. But it's just an accepted thing. You know, it just has to happen. It sucks. It really sucks. So part of me is like, you know, screw you guys, karma, haha, suckers. Like, I don't care. But then other half of me like, I know people wanted this game, and I know these are real people, and I have to talk with these people, and it's like there's humans there, right? So it's like, you know, it's like maybe they didn't have good financial advice. Maybe they didn't manage their company properly. Maybe they got too focused and their heart was in it, but their mind wasn't. You know what I mean? Like they weren't being smart. They weren't being smart. Yogi, thank you for the super chat. Says, I think Bob dropped this. Oh. What? Oh, man. You guys are funny. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. I cannot. You guys are hilarious. All right. So yeah, so it happens. Just so you know, there's fake funding goals. This is obviously like pissed a lot of people off. I see a lot of people posting going, if they needed over $1 million, why did they only put 100,000 in? Why did they just cancel it without giving us a chance to back it, right? So yeah, on the topic of fake funding goals, I link this down below in the video description. This is a Reddit post from 5 months ago. I don't know who Lord9 is, but I may have read this before on one of these coffee chats, but I had it bookmarked because I wanted to discuss this fake funding goal thing. So here's something I've seen. This person says, having run one failed. So this is a whole discussion about fake funding goals, dishonest funding goals that happened on Reddit. So there's some interesting discussion. But this person actually ran some campaigns, so they have some experience. Having run one failed campaign and 2 successful Kickstarters, funding goals are complicated. During the first campaign, I set a 100% realistic funding goal, plus enough profit to cover some uncertainties, and came up about half short on funding. Most of that money came in the first day, the rest over the first week, and barely budged for the remainder of the campaign. Now, I will admit the first campaign had some issues outside the funding goal, so that likely contributed to it, but let's continue. For the second campaign, I dropped the funding goal by about $13,000. At this point, it was enough to pay for manufacturing, but nothing else. Basically, I was accepting that if the game funded exactly, I was willing to take a massive financial hit based on what I'd already spent on the game, my development time, and essentially work full-time on the job for free for the next 13 months. Scary, but as a first-time creator, you do what you must to get off the ground. And remember, Euthia has probably already done this kind of crazy stuff on their first campaign, right in the middle of COVID, you know what I mean? And when it's crazy times. A funny thing happened, though. Once again, roughly the same amount of money came in first couple hours, but since the funding goal was now lower, it hit the tipping point that first day. Once funding had been reached, it was like the floodgates opened. For some reason that I don't fully understand, people are much more likely to back a funded project than one that isn't. An hour after funding, the pledge amount had doubled. After 1 week, it had blown past all stretch goals that I had planned for the whole campaign. During the first campaign attempt funding did not even hit $20,000, and now it was heading towards $100,000. In the end, it stopped just short of $150,000. That's crazy. A year later, I returned for a reprint campaign with an expansion. Now, the previous campaign was successful as far as the product went, but as a first-time creator, I honestly hadn't known what I was doing when pricing stretch goals, and as such, I made almost nothing. For the third campaign, I had a pretty good idea what I was doing. I dropped the funding goal even lower. So basically, I bullshitted even worse and still was sleeping at night, which was a risk since now I was offering more products, and the new funding goal was only enough to fund the expansion. But I assumed that most of my backers would be returning customers. It paid off. The third campaign funded in 30 minutes and hit nearly $100,000 that first day, thus covering the cost of the expansion and the reprint, plus a couple of stretch goals. The campaign was a huge success, and I'm quite proud that even with COVID making its appearance, the products only delivered about 2 months late from the original campaign estimate. In the case of my 2 successful campaigns, the stretch goals were very real, and the funding goals were real to an extent. But there is a sizable psychological element to deciding what they are. People are more likely to back a funded campaign, and people love chasing stretch goals. You addicts. Knowing that, well, myself, I don't begrudge companies that set low goals, but I do wish they would at least be marginally honest. For example, no game with miniatures is going to be manufactured for less than 40K. 40K miniatures? Anyone? That's awesome. All right. Yeah. So thoughts on that one. Again, I've linked that down in the description. There is more discussion there. It goes on and on. But that, from an actual person, a first-time creator, that kind of reminded me of the Euthia story. But if you're looking at a number that's like 10% funded after a few days, you're like, I'm going to put my money here, but I probably won't remember before it ends to take my money out, right? Like, it's a little scary. I know that it doesn't fund. You don't pay if it doesn't fund. But, like, even if it's, like, barely gets across the finish line and you put your money in, there's more of a chance it's going to fail than if you see it's 500% funded, right? If you feel it's 500% funded, 800% funded, 1,000% funded, you think it's a for sure thing you are going to get your game. And you're probably going to get more stretch goals in. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be the best thing ever. Obviously, if everyone else is throwing their money at it, it must be awesome. But that's not always the case, right? That's not always the case. But it's still deceitful. It's still dishonest. It's still fake, right? Because you're seeing it's 500% funded. You're putting your money on it because of that number, which is totally fake. It's like false advertising. I don't know how they get away with it. I don't know. It's like, it is illegal, I'm pretty sure. But they all do it, and I don't know how they get away with it. Maybe just nobody cares because they're all like tiny companies in general, like in the world, you know? But I guess companies do post that. Like, you know, you see milk ads telling you you're going to get big muscles. You see beer commercials telling you you're going to get the girl in the car back in the day, right? Like, you don't see that stuff as much anymore. But it's like they still promote, like, you're going to have fun drinking soda pop full of sugar, right? You're just going to have a fun, amazing life if you drink our product. So there is always dishonesty there in marketing. They always play with people, right? The car ads showing the car going off-roading, all this cool stuff. You're not taking that car off-roading. You're not buying that car for off-roading. What are you talking about? Why are you showing me a driving up a hill of a mountain, right? It's like, who needs that? So yeah, so it's just them doing the same kind of thing. So on the other side of it, it's like, I don't know if it's that bad, but yes, Yogi, Arnold Schwarzenegger, if you watch any of his documentaries, he did a lot more than just drink any milk. All right. I don't think milk was the key there. I think you're missing the point. You know what I'm saying, though. You know what I'm saying, right? There's always dishonesty in marketing. They use emotions and stuff to get to you. You know. Yeah, Terracotta says cancellation before collecting was less scummy, though. I agree. It's sad. It's more sad than scummy. I don't know. Yeah. I think the general practice of fake funding goals is scummy. You know, Diet Games, like I said, was just playing along with the rules that were set, right? They have to do it. But yeah, it's interesting. All right. So let's talk about the reasons. Okay, here's some reasons that I thought of why this happened. We're just speculating. We're just having fun. I don't know anything. We're just having fun here, okay? Please don't take this stuff as gospel. This is not, you know, there's probably some other story to it, right? Who knows? But here's some things I noticed, okay? Watching from the sidelines, right? I'm just like you guys. I back games. I buy games. I watch crowdfunding. To be honest, if I knew they were in this trouble, so there's the whole thing about quitting too early. There's a whole thing about quitting too early. I've seen a bunch of posts talking about if you just let us know that you needed help, that you really lied and you needed 6,000 backers, not 2,000 backers or whatever. You know, if you needed $1.5 million, if you just would have told us, I would have backed. Okay. I've seen multiple people say this, or I've seen people saying they're waiting till the last day. A lot of people wait till the final day to come in and check the campaign, to see what the stretch goals are, see what's unlocked, see what's included, see if there's any bundles, okay? And some people were waiting for a standee all-in bundle. There is that small group. It's probably only like 10 people, but there were people waiting to throw hundreds of dollars at them if they just had what they needed and they just wait. When you see a campaign has, I don't know how many days this had left. Somebody in the chat might know. How many days were left on this campaign when it canceled? Does anyone know? I haven't really seen that. I'm assuming it was at least 2-3 weeks, but I could be wrong. But there were people who were waiting to spend their money, okay? But it definitely wasn't 4,000 people, I assume. Oh, it was 14 days left. Layla, thank you. Matthew, thank you. Thank you. So they had 14 days left. So they could have, and some people asked and wished they did, instead of just posting an update saying we're dropping the mic, we're out, which is why a lot of people think there might be some more to it, right? There could be some issues behind the scenes. I just think they ran out of money. I think they already were eating their shirt on the first campaign. They were having trouble paying for their employees working on the new game. They probably told them, we'll give you a pay cut. We'll pay you once it funds. We'll be able to pay you all this, back pay we owe you, or, that kind of stuff. Who knows? Who knows what they were doing, right? But then when the campaign launched, it just wasn't enough hype. It wasn't enough numbers. But they just dropped the mic and said, sorry, we're out. But if they made a post asking for help, and maybe there's some pride there, right? Maybe they were afraid, they're embarrassed, they didn't want to deal with it, they didn't want to beg people again. Maybe when they told people about shipping costs on the first campaign, maybe there was a lot of people sending them death threats and angry emails. It happens. It really happens. People get pissed when they don't get their Kickstarter on time, if they get charged more, if shipping costs are more than they advertised. It happens. People freaking lose their mind, right? They start demanding refunds. They start putting bad things on social media. They go crazy, right? It gets bad. Sometimes they make ranting videos on YouTube even. It's crazy. I'm only kidding. I don't think I've done that, but maybe I've ranted about Steam Forge game a few times. All right, maybe I did that, okay? Maybe I did. But anyways. Yeah, so did they quit too early? What do you guys think would have happened if they just said, all right, guys, we have 14 days left. We made a mistake. We re-looked at our numbers, and we realized we really need about 6,000 backers. We're trying to run a print run. We're trying to stock our web store. We're trying to get this expansion printed. We're trying to pay our employees. We did the funding goal, and it's a normal thing in the industry to, we lied about our funding goal. It's a normal thing. We admit it. It's something you have to do, or you fail. Or maybe, they could have said we're going to relaunch and try it again in a week or a month or whatever. But I think they just didn't have the money to keep going. That wasn't an option. But they could have made a post saying, guys, we need at least 6,000 backers. Get the word out. If you're on the fence and you're debating, we need to know. And we need to know in the next 13 days, or we can't wait till the last minute. We're going to do 13 days, and we're going to look at how it is. If there's not enough there, get the word out. Get on social media, anyone who, go on their Discord, find their hardcore fans, go on Facebook. Get the hardcore fans, the hive mind, to go out there and spread the word. Some people would have started adding extra stuff to their pledges. They would have started buying sleeves, dice trays, all that extra stuff. People will start upping their pledges to help get more funds. And obviously they would have to say a dollar amount too. You can't just say we need 6,000 backers. You have to say what the money amount is. Because 6,000 people just backing your base game, you need a lot of people that start adding in add-ons and buying your expansions and stuff like that. So did they quit too early? Maybe. I would have thought it'd be super fun. I would have honestly made a video promoting it 100% because this game has a special place in my heart. I would have backed all the stuff I was missing. I would have gone in there 100%. I'm not lying. I would have done it. If they announced we are in trouble, and if they sent me an email saying, Rob, we made a mistake, we appreciate your help. We need your help again. And can you help us promote this? Get the word out, send a message to all the content creators, those who care, and just eat it. But I think they have a pride thing. They didn't want to ask. They didn't want to ask for help again. And that's too bad, right? I would have went in here and I would have said, all right, I you're going to get something out of it, right? Where is it? Whoops. I would have gone in here right away and I would have went and pledged for, if I can find it. Because this is the thing. I already know I love this game. I'm not backing blindly some random company and some game I'm not sure going to like. I would have actually gone in here and did this whole returning backers bundle. I would have just backed all this stuff. I said, guys, you don't need to send me, press copy later. I'll just buy it, right? I'll just buy it. It's fine. I'll spend the 200 euros, plus shipping. I'll get a number in there. But I'm only one person, right? They needed like 4,000 more people. Maybe I could spread the word and get another 100. I don't know. But you know what I mean? Maybe if everyone got together, we could have saved the game. Maybe we'll get a chance to do that still. I don't know. It's sad. It's sad. That's part of me. I was like all up and down yesterday. I was like hating it. I was like, karma, good for you. Then I was like, man, I could have helped. And then I'm reading people's kind messages online and stuff. And I'm like, man, it's bringing a tear to my eye what happened here. Because it's not like the game just failed. This is like a publisher failed. And it's crazy. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, it's crazy. Crazy. Ugh. Yeah, they had like gameplay all-in bundles and stuff. We'll talk about all the SKUs. Oh, man. Yeah, Flynn, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking they ran out of money and couldn't make payroll. 100%. I'm thinking the same thing. And that's why they just had to close up shop. They couldn't wait another month to relaunch. It's too bad. They couldn't wait to ask for help and hope it works out. They had to like close doors right there. I don't know. It's weird. Tiny's crazy says, I donated $3,000 to a board game campaign to get it over the funding goal, but I didn't have 1.25 million to donate. Yeah. That's a little stretch there. Yeah. Understood. Yeah, I'm quoted on their GameFound page. I don't know. I wish they asked me for a quote, but they just did that. I don't know if that's like my best thing I've said about the game, but it's just something about like the sandbox nature of it or something. I'm like, that's really your best thing that I said? I don't know. I feel like I probably said more things in playthroughs, but maybe they just didn't watch. They didn't see those playthroughs. I don't know. They didn't watch till the end. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. So coming and looking at this campaign, so again, I was like, I'll just get it later. I didn't care, right? I wasn't paying attention to the campaign. And I assumed they didn't tell me about the expansion, what it was. So I didn't know. But when I went in and looked yesterday after they canceled it, I was like, I need to see what they were doing on this campaign. What happened? Okay. Here's what I think happened. Okay. Here's some other things I think. Okay. There's other competition. Okay. This is the first point I have here that I thought of. Because sometimes when a game bombs or a campaign bombs, it's because what else is stealing people's money at the time? Stealing. Just kidding. Where are people's monthly budgets to backing games going? And we can just go to other games that are on GameFound. There's this game I don't know anything about called Uprising. It only has $500,000, like 3,000 backers, 3,500 backers. But when I read about the game, where is it? Somewhere it has a write-up on it. Right here. A 4X co-op fantasy, 1 to 4 players is back, blah, blah, blah. So I see co-op, I see fantasy, I see solo. I think, okay, some of those things are similar to Euthia. I know the games are completely different just based on looking at it. But it's still another big box fantasy game that somebody might have backed instead of Euthia, right? It's another thing fighting for the money. There's another game right here, Sleeping Gods. Okay. This is a game I've seen people actually recommend to people since the Euthia closed down. We'll talk about other recommendations. But some people said Sleeping Gods. It's an adventure game. You're doing some combat. You're going on adventuring. You play solo. You can play co-op. It's a big, epic, sprawling game. I wouldn't even put these in the same category, but it does have some similarities. And the biggest thing they have in common, they're both on crowdfunding at the same time, except this one has 11,000 backers, $1.6 million. This is US dollars. So you have a big campaign here making over $1 million. Okay. It's hard when you're on the same web page right beside them and people need to make the choice, right? This is 4,000% funded. Oh my God. Right? So people are probably on this campaign page, back in this game, going crazy. And then you have Euthia beside it. And people know Sleeping Gods. People know Red Raven Games, right? Not a lot of people know Dia Games, right? So you're already competing on the same crowdfunding website against games in the same category. Arguably. Okay? Arguably. Okay? There is somebody out there who backed Sleeping Gods and said, I can't back Euthia. That's too much. I'm going to stick with Sleeping Gods. There is somebody out there who backed the other game, Uprising, I just said, who backed this. There's probably some people that backed Last Light. Has 8 hours left. I don't know what this game is, but, oh, it's Grey Fox Games. Okay. Whatever this is. Somebody backed this and said, oh, Euthia looks cool, but I'm going to back this instead. Okay. Somebody backed this game, which I don't know what the hell this is, but it's raised 1.2 million Canadian dollars. So that's really like 50 cents American. But it has 5,000 backers. And it's a miniature filled game from Mythics Games. I don't know anything about it. I did look through it before when it launched and then just said I don't care. But it's a cooperative board game, 1 to 4 players. Okay, it's fantasy themed. Some Queen of Dragons is involved. Okay, I got dragons, I got fantasy, I got miniatures, I got giant box, I got hundreds of dollars to back this thing. And it's on Kickstarter. And you're competing with this too. So, and there's probably others that I didn't find. I quickly just looked at both websites, Kickstarter and GameFound, looked at the board games, and found here's some that maybe somebody backed over Euthia. So there's always competition, right? There's always competition on crowdfunding around the same time that you are losing money out to, right? There's only so much money to go around, only so many things people will back and want to follow at a time, right? Not everyone's tiny. Some people have budgets. Just joking, Tiny. I know you're doing better. I know you're doing better. Yeah. All right. Again, I'm sorry to the publishers and the creators of these games. I just didn't look into them. I'm going to buy Sleeping Gods at retail, just so you guys know. That's why I haven't really cared or covered it or whatever. And I don't care for Last Light. And I don't know what this game is, but again, Mystic Games just keeps, they're the Simons. They're like a knockoff Simon. They just keep coming out with a new campaign every month to try to pay for the last 6 campaigns they still haven't delivered. So I kind of lose respect for those kind of companies. But if they make a great game that's really popular, doesn't just get forgotten in the pile of other giant miniature-filled mediocre games coming out of Kickstarter, I will pay attention to that game. I will try to get it at retail. I'll try to back it on the next Kickstarter. But when I see Mythic Games, I see a box full of miniatures, and I hear all the horror stories about them taking forever to deliver campaigns. There's still so many campaigns that have not delivered. Yeah, I just don't care, unfortunately. And I don't think I've ever played a Mythic Games, but a Mythics Games game. But I mean, my opinion could be changed in the future. But unfortunately, that's just where I'm at with that stuff. But yeah. Right. Yeah, we can close this one. All right. So competition could be one thing, right? Competition. Another thing I put, there's generally also competition, not just of what's on crowdfunding right now, but people get crowdfunding fatigue, right? So think about the time of year we're in right now. It is early May 2022. We are on the 2 years of COVID lockdowns in some countries, even worse. Some countries are just lifting lockdowns over the last month or two. Some people are finally not wearing masks. Some people are still wearing masks, but some people are actually getting traveling again. Restrictions at flights and borders have been lifted at a lot of places. The weather's getting nicer in some northern hemisphere places where there's snow and all winter, like here, where we are. It's springtime. I'm planning trips. I'm planning vacations. I'm looking forward to convention season. I go outside now. I've seen the sun. I actually had some red on my face. It was kind of crazy. Backing a board game that will show up in a year or two is not really on a lot of people's priorities. Also right now, because of the shipping costs dropping on crowdfunding, a lot of campaigns that were delayed that were supposed to deliver in 2020, 2021, finally the shipping costs dropped and some games are getting to us. The shipping container crisis is kind of not as bad as it was. So a lot of people are having these Kickstarters they backed 2, 3, 4 years ago are showing up on their door. When a bunch of games show up on your door, some people actually play them and they get busy with those games. They don't need another game. They have a backlog to work through now, right? So like you're coming to Kickstarter, you're asking for hundreds of dollars. But some people have piles of games unopened that they got delivered to them recently. They might not go on Kickstarter and start backing, right? Or on GameFound, on crowdfunding, right? So you're also competing with the fatigue of crowdfunding, giant big box crowdfunding games. I rant about it over the last years, but it's like a real thing. And like Frosthaven, that might actually deliver in the next few months, maybe, probably not, but maybe. So those kind of games are coming. Oathsworn, these big games that I backed are coming. Some people might not want Euthia. They maybe rather have the game that made millions of dollars that's coming out soon, and they'll grab a copy of that. And that is the game they're going to play soon. You know what I mean? So there's competition in the past, there's competition in the present, and there's competition in the future. And that will definitely impact a crowdfunding campaign. For sure. For sure. Big box fantasy games are like a dime a dozen now. And they're getting more expensive. So I can see people just saying like, I'll only need a few of these in my collection maybe. Here's another issue. Okay, another issue. There's this video. I linked it down below. I've talked about this video before. But this is a behind the scenes. So there's two people here that work for board game publishers. One that's mainly focused on retail, but does crowdfunding for, I think it's Pandasaurus Games. There's another one here that, James from Druid City Games. Okay. It's Danny from Pandasaurus and James from Druid City Games. Okay. Both have run Kickstarters. Both have canceled. Both have run big Kickstarters, all this stuff. They're being interviewed by this guy here. And I'm sorry. I always forget the name. I don't know who his name is. But I've linked this down below. I've timestamped it actually. There is a discussion about launching on Kickstarter versus the competition, versus GameFound, versus all these other crowdfunding platforms. And it is known that you will make less money not on Kickstarter. So I didn't realize Kickstarter has a big ecosystem, right? It's not just board games, surprise. There's lots of other things on Kickstarter, electronics, movies, shoes, whatever. There's tons of weird things, art, books. There's tons of things that make millions of dollars on Kickstarter. And if you're on Kickstarter, you can have a network of friends supposedly, and you can follow people, and you get notifications and emails when people back things. You get Kickstarter promoting when things get backed to a certain amount. You get them showing projects you love, all this kind of stuff. There are people that just live in the Kickstarter ecosystem backing projects that aren't tabletop gaming. And then they will see something hit the front page like Frosthaven, and they might just back that too because they're like, oh, cool. I didn't know about board gaming. Oh, cool. Maybe I'll back that because it's got millions of dollars behind it. I'll back it. So there's this network on Kickstarter that doesn't exist and features that don't exist on GameFound that I didn't really know about. And this video talks all about them from the content creator or from the publisher's side. So I recommend clicking the link down in the video description later and watching this. I timestamped to the point when they talk about how if you go to GameFound, you're kind of just knowing you're not going to make as much money. It won't get in front of as many eyes. And that's just a thing right now. This was 5 months ago or whatever. Or no, maybe not. This is only in March. This is only like 2 months ago or something. Am I right? March, April, May. Yeah, it was only 2 months ago, this discussion. But yeah, lots of good discussion in that video. I recommend you guys watch it if you want some behind the scenes of, crowdfunding, the shipping crisis, all that kind of stuff, dealing with commenters, all this kind of stuff on crowdfunding campaigns. But a great little interview. Very cool stuff if you just want to see the other side of it. It's neat. It's neat. Oh yeah. There's a super backer status. I forgot about that too. That whole like addiction, right? Of like, and you get super backer status after spending all your money, which is an amazingly useless title. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of little features on Kickstarter that people just get like addicted to, right? And it's not just in tabletop gaming, but then sometimes they spill over, right? It's that whole idea. I remember I used to work, for McDonald's Canada, and I worked in a Walmart one time for a while. And when I was there, I got really close to the management in the Walmart. You work side and side with them, right? You share the same like areas in the back, and you're working on the same loading docks and stuff like that. But something interesting happened that I took note of. This is my way younger days. But there were some executives from Walmart that were in there, and they were discussing, this was when Walmart first started adding grocery stores into their stores, right? They were like, we're going to take on grocery stores and put them out of business. So they started selling groceries in Walmart in Canada. It was like a new concept. This was many years ago. But I heard this executive, I was standing nearby, and he was explaining the concept of why they put the grocery store on one side of the store when they renovated and not the other, and why did they change a whole bunch of departments around to put this grocery section in the store. And they like ripped up the parking lot, they expanded the building, they moved all the stuff inside around, and they explained that a Walmart is laid out very strategically. So they were hoping they would sell groceries at a loss. People would go there instead of your local grocery store. But the aisles and the way it was designed and the way the advertising within the store and the price stickers and all this stuff, the signs and the clothing and all the departments are laid out so that when you're in there just buying groceries and you're like, yeah, I'm getting a deal, I'm filling up my grocery cart. The store is laid out and designed so that you kind of have to, go through the other sections of Walmart, and then they'll start making real money off you, selling you cheaply made goods, right? So they designed it so that you hope the mom with her shopping cart goes through the grocery aisle, and then all of a sudden she's like, whoops, I'm in, I'm buying stuff for my kitchen. Oh, now I'm in buying clothes. Whoops, now I'm all of a sudden in cleaning. Now I'm in electronics. Like, I just came here to buy groceries. What happened? And all of a sudden you're now buying $300, $400, $500 worth of non-grocery merchandise, right? And I thought it was a neat concept, the way they were like, they designed it and they did all these studies and they were explaining how like human psychology and all this stuff. I just sat there, was like blown away, right? I was my young mind. I hadn't learned all this stuff yet. And I thought it was really neat. But Kickstarter reminds me of that. People will go there because something gets posted on a website, some new electronics, some new book, some movie that's trying to get funded. They might go there because their favorite content creator of something goes there and makes a campaign, but they'll go to the website and then they're getting advertised other stuff, right? And then before they know it, they're backing other things. And you went there for one reason, and all of a sudden you realize you got lost, and you came out an hour later, and all of a sudden you spent way more money than you expected. Same kind of thing. It's super neat. But yeah, it makes me think of that same mentality. And that's what GameFound doesn't have. Nobody's going to GameFound to buy a new digital watch. No one's going to back some kind of weird gizmo that'll solve some problem, Yeah. It's like IKEA too. If you wanted to go to IKEA just to buy some meatballs, there's no easy way to do that and get in and get meatballs and get out. You will leave purchasing a new dresser, redoing your kitchen, and you buy some little knick-knack things that you thought you needed for your house. Some new pots. You bought some new pots or something, Oh, I could always use some more plates. And my drapes could use an updating. Same kind of idea. Correct, Zach. Yeah, just like that. Same idea, right? All department stores kind of do that. They hope you go there for one thing, they advertise one thing, and then all of a sudden, an hour later, you come out and you bought a whole bunch of other stuff. Same kind of idea on the Kickstarter. They have a bunch of tools in place to do the same thing, right? Okay. So on the project, I want to go back to when I actually looked at the project. Here is what I really think is the problem, okay? Here's what I think the problem. So if I'm all of a sudden put in charge of Dia Games, this is the big no-no in my opinion. Okay. I'm at the state in my tabletop gaming backing pledges career where I love simplicity of campaigns. Okay. I think this one does it. I don't know if they've added more pledges. Okay. If I go to Sleeping Gods, okay, I have a pledge tier of everything new. Okay, thank you. Make it easy for me. I already own Sleeping Gods. Just give me what's new. Okay. Or just give me the damn expansion. I don't need the extra fluff. Okay. Easy peasy. And the retailer doesn't matter to me. Or I just want the original game. I can't find it anywhere. I just want the original game and I'll wait for it to show up. Okay. And there's the pledge level of give me everything. Okay. So here they really only have 1, 2, 3, 4 pledge tiers, right? I'm not going to say retailer is a pledge for me, right? So there's 4 options. Okay. They're mindless. You come here and you either go, I want everything new. I'm in the loop. I have it all. I just need everything else. Or you're like, I just want the basic stuff, the new stuff. Or you want the first game. Okay. So if you look at Euthia's page, I come here and I got the ultimate bundle. Okay. So if you've never backed Euthia before, I don't know why you would ever buy this because you're buying way more Euthia. And what if you don't even like the game? So you guys know my stance on this. Don't buy expansions for games you don't even know you like yet. or you don't own or have never played. I don't know, unless the FOMO's there, but like, you know, that's up to you to fight off that demon. Okay. Then I see this Fierce Powers expansion pledge with standees. Okay. Then there's a miniature version. So already, I mean, I appreciate being able to optionally have miniatures over standees over miniatures. But that's a nightmare from a manufacturing, from a business point of view. Too many SKUs is a bad thing. Okay. A bad thing, especially when you're talking low numbers. Okay. Then you have the first game, the standee version. I don't know what the sales were on that. We can probably look at the previous Kickstarter, but I'm going to assume this was the minority. And I would honestly think they should have just cut this. So if I'm running the company, they don't need a standee version anymore. Just get rid of it. Okay. Get rid of it. Just make it freaking simple. Maybe they would have need less backers because they would have just been printing the same thing. Because obviously them making the standee version and the miniature version, they're now manufacturing less miniatures. It's going to cost more to make the miniatures, you know? And then they have, you know, the original one with extras. Then they have a returning backer bundle. Then they have a gameplay all-in bundle. Okay. Too many bundles, too many options. Too many options here. Okay. This is too many. Okay. I should have came here and found I'm new to Euthia. Just give me the damn base game. Okay. I've already backed all Euthia stuff. Give me all the new stuff. And then just that's it pretty much. Don't give me standees version versus miniature version. Just give me add-ons for other stuff. Add-ons are so easy. You just add on what you want as you're checking out. I don't know why this isn't loading, but you know, if you want any add-on stuff, just add it on. But they should have just made it simple and just came here and you go, I want Euthia. Not, what is this? What is this? A miniature, not a miniature? Like, what's going on here? I don't know. But yeah, I on like one hand, I love that there's a cheaper option that you can buy without miniatures, but it's like literally, what is that? $14 savings? That's not enough. If it was like $50 off or something, then it would be more worth it. But I think this is stupid. Like that hurts you more than helps you, I think. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. So this is confusing. This is dumb. Too many options. And yeah. And I was confused. Another thing. I expected them. I know they need to reprint this game. Okay. Another issue was they didn't have this campaign ready when the original game delivered and the hype was there. Okay. Like I got my game, I wanted to play it right away, and they were emailing asking me if I could hold off on playing it until they were ready and had the product in their web store. And then if I would hold off again and play it till the crowdfunding campaign launched, and then they emailed me again saying, sorry, it's delayed. Can you hold off even more? And I had people asking me to play it. I wanted to play it. I'm staring at this game that I know is fun. I want to play it, but I was trying to be nice and help them out. And I think it made sense and whatever. So I did it. It was cool. They didn't, they weren't being mean about it. They said you could do whatever you want, but I was like, might as well help them. I can play other games. It's not a big deal. But they weren't ready when the game launched. And this industry moves kind of quick, right? There's always something else to steal your attention. So this game wasn't ready when the first one released. So when reviews start coming out, playthroughs start coming out, fans in the forums are getting excited for it. And what happened was, even when I held off on my playthrough to play on the channel when it launched on the web store, it sold out of the web store like instantly. They didn't have enough copies. So then I didn't want to play it anymore because there weren't any copies for people to buy. I would have played it again after it launched on the web store, playing some other modes. But I told Mel, I said, Mel, I'm not going to promote this game and play it on the channel if nobody can buy it. It's stupid. I don't do that. I try not to do that. So yeah. So did that hurt them that they took so long to make the crowdfunding campaign? Yeah, I think it did. If they delivered and right when everyone was getting the game and playing the game and excited for the game, they should have came back with a small expansion. I thought that's what they were going to do. They didn't even make a small expansion. They made some giant expansion that costs 105 euros and 2 giant boxes and all the new stuff. Where's the new stuff? Like, what is all this? Like 215 euros plus shipping for new content? Like, I think that's too much. I feel like they should have just came back with a smaller expansion like this Crawling Shadows solo co-op expansion, which I thought was more interesting. That one I really wanted to have. And, maybe just as an excuse, come back to crowdfunding early in the year, right after everyone's got the game, everyone's excited for the game. You drop it, you show off one expansion, you get everyone excited, and then next year, when you need another print run of the game and it's sold out on your web store, you come back to crowdfunding with your second expansion. And everyone who wants in on it can get it then, And meanwhile, you need to be making other games. Like Dia Games needs to sell some stuff in retail. They needed another stream of income instead of just waiting for crowdfunding. And the fact I was getting emails every couple months saying they had to push it, they had to delay it. And even on their first campaign, they had to delay it many months. And they kept delaying. They kept emailing me and delaying because they were scared of competition. They didn't have their stuff together. They were worried. They were waiting on manufacturing, trying to get prototypes, blah, blah, blah. But all those delays, I think, ultimately hurt them because time is still passing. You're still paying employees, and money's depreciating. And here we go. Boom. Finally, they launch. The excitement's not there. People didn't care. It's confusing. People still haven't even got through their $200, $400, whatever dollars of Euthia they bought the first time. I'm not played out on Euthia. I could play more hours of Euthia. I have more than enough Euthia to play. Now you're telling me you have 215 euros more of Euthia to play with? That's a lot of Euthia. I don't think I need that much Euthia right now. And that's honestly what I think a lot of people were doing too, was they thought, I don't know. I don't know if I need that much. And maybe they were waiting. Maybe they were like, that's too much money right now. I don't know. But what I think they should have done is just said, we're coming back to crowdfunding. We need to reprint the first game. We need to stock it in our web store. We need to get it out to retail. We need your help. Come and get it at a deal. And also we have this other little expansion to add on to get people excited who backed the first one. So they can come in, they can add on the things they're missing, the people who didn't buy the storage, the dice trays, the sleeves, whatever, right? Just keep it simple, stupid. Okay? You got to keep it simple, stupid. And that's what they should have done, I think. And it would have been a little safer. And then maybe that would fund their future work on the next expansion. Again, I don't know the financials of the company. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know if they had other games for sure in the works. But I feel like they should have done more than putting all their eggs in the Euthia basket. Because, yeah, it's just more Euthia. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, Brian, exactly. More/new is always better. I don't know about that. I'm just joking. I don't know about that. Wait, yes, you do need that much Euthia. Yeah, eventually I will need that much Euthia. I agree. And you have to think in the mind of like, if I back this now, I might not see it for a year or two. By then I'll want more Euthia. So, but at the time, I like to think in the present usually. And it's like, ooh, do I want this right now? I have a giant box of Euthia. I jammed 2 giant boxes of Euthia into one. There is so much there. Like, I don't know how I could get bored of it, but yeah, here's more Euthia. So I don't know. Maybe this was too early. So again, there's the argument of, was this too late? Did it miss the hype of the delivery of the first campaign and missed out? Or did this come too early that people didn't play enough Euthia yet, the word didn't get out yet enough, and this was too much Euthia thrown at you too quickly? Okay? In both cases could apply, I think, and in different people's situations. But it's interesting. It's very fascinating. But yeah, definitely too many SKUs for sure. Too many SKUs. Jonas says, okay, some interesting stuff here. Jonas says, expansion is way too big from my perspective as a backer. Plenty of game in base game. Something just enough to check out and make money from reprint would have been smarter. Exactly what I was just saying. Just a small little add-on. Let people come in and get what they're missing. Just fun to print run. Like, people are still haven't got Euthia, and then you come in and throw all this at them. And especially FOMO, right? Some people aren't going to come in and drop this gameplay all-in bundle for their first time, right? And then they have FOMO where they're like, oh, that's too much. But I know they can just buy the base game and get the reprint, but I don't know. It's just confusing. Like, you're new to Euthia. Euthia's only been out for a few months, right? You're new to it. You come here and you see all these different boxes and all these different SKUs and tell me that didn't confuse somebody and they were like, not worth my time. And you saw all these big dollar amounts and you're like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. And look at this. Like, this hurts you more than helps you. This scares people away. What is this? Look at this list. Holy crap. Like, what do I get? I want this. Like, people have to, like, study this chart here to figure out like what to back. That's crazy. That right there is a red flag. If you have to make this, you're doing something wrong, in my opinion. Just keep it simple. They should have had base game Euthia with miniatures, or or base game with the new stuff. That's it. Or the new stuff alone. Sorry, 3 SKUs, I think. And that's it. And the rest is add-ons. Add your sleeves, add your big box, add your storage solutions, add your elemental expansions, add all the Griffin. Just have them in add-ons. Let people add it on who want it. No big deal. I think it would have done better in that case. Would it done 6,000 more backers by mid-campaign better? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I think it would have done better. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Like, I don't know. That's what I think. Those are the things I think about the campaign, why it failed, what the issues were, how I would have done it better. I don't know. What are you guys saying? What are you saying? Lightwire believes that Crawling Shadows, the name of the expansion, was a crappy name. The designer agreed. So that is probably why it really failed. A bad name for the expansion. Put the company right out of business by putting that name on the box. How dare they? Oh, man. Oh. I agree, Yogi. Needs more cowbell. That 100%. Everything needs more cowbell. 100%. Brian says, I'm a returning backer, and I had no issue with it being confusing. You see the returning backer link on the side and just pick it. Yeah, but then you're not sure, am I getting everything? Because there's a lot of pledges, Brian, that do this, where they say like returning backer all in, and then you find out it doesn't have everything. And then you got to start reading through the add-ons. Then you realize, wait, where's this chart? Am I really getting anything? What am I missing? It does get confusing, but I know you're not an idiot. Like, not everyone's that way. I'm just generalizing, of course. Oh. Stacy, I agree. This issue could be personal, right? It could be, the war in Ukraine. It could be some family issues. Could be mismanagement. Maybe, maybe there's a divorce. Maybe someone ran away with money. Maybe somebody stole money. Maybe the factory emailed and said, sorry, prices went up, and they're like, you can't do it for that much money. Maybe they increased the minimum print run and they said, sorry, you can't do it. There could be lots of things, right? There could be lots of things. Mark says, I create a spreadsheet to try to figure out how to get what I wanted cheapest. New stuff, no miniatures, plus organizer. I skipped. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. All right, let's talk about other games. So when I was going through Reddit, Facebook, comments, on YouTube, Discord, all these other places, I was trying to see what like other people were recommending for people that were going to back this and were excited for it. Is there other games you can play that might give you scratch the same itch? Might give you the same, fun of Euthia, might fill that space on your Kalak shelf. And like I said before, I don't think any game 100% scratches the itch exactly, especially if you play it like semi co-op and have the other people controlling the monsters. Not every game does that. A lot of games shy away from that kind of stuff where you have, another player controlling the monster, trying to kill you, getting points off of you, dying, that kind of fun is not fun for everybody. I love it. I think it's cool. But it does have full co-op, full solo mode and everything, which does make it more similar to other games. But that whole, like, I don't know, there's just something about the loot gathering in this game. And yeah, I don't know. You're just always gathering new stuff. And it's like, I think it's like Diablo-ish, right? Where it's just like, or Borderlands, where it's just like always about those video games, like the collecting, the getting new loot, the upgrading, slight upgrading, trying to be efficient. But yeah, some similar games. Oh, where did it go? Oh my God, did I delete it? Oh, I see. I see what I did. All right. So for anyone that doesn't know, For anyone who doesn't know, Euthia, the designers let me know this. When I first saw the game, I asked them, why does your game have so many similarities to Mage Knight? What are you doing there? Are you trying to make like a lighter Mage Knight? And they said, no, Rob. The designer of Mage Knight is from the same, country as the designer of this game. And in their country, there's a very popular PC game that I know it's popular other places too, but it's extra popular. I believe in Eastern Europe, I think is where it is most popular, is Heroes of Might and Magic series from the 90s. It's a PC game. It seems cool. I did not know about it until Euthia, basically. And then I learned both designers, the designer of Mage Knight and the designer of Euthia, both love Heroes of Might and Magic and were heavily inspired trying to make a board game version of Heroes of Might and Magic. And there is a board game, Heroes of Might and Magic, coming later this year, I think. I don't think it's on the same level. I think it's like probably a really low complexity kind of game, it looks like. Not like this kind of game, but no, Sakabra. Man, I played PC games in the 90s and I never heard of it. Never heard of it. I was playing Warcraft, Command and Conquer, Duke Nukem. I was playing Doom, Wolfenstein. What else was I playing on PC back in the day? StarCraft, obviously. It's like RTSs. Like I was playing RTSs and first-person shooters. I did play a little bit of like the Civilization games. But yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know Heroes of Might and Magic was a thing. I knew about Diablo, like that kind of stuff, but I didn't know about Heroes of Might and Magic. I had no idea. Patreon and YouTube sub canceled. Rob obviously. Rob is obviously not like us if he never played Heroes of Might and Magic. I just didn't. I didn't. I was playing. I was basically a console gamer mainly. I didn't have the best computer growing up. I played all my computer games mainly at friends' houses, my more well-off friends' houses, who had nice computers, who had all the games. I had a pretty crappy hand-me-down computer from my dad who got from his work. It barely ran any games. It was really sucky. But I had all the Nintendo consoles, so I was playing like Final Fantasies and all these games on like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube, all this. This is my background. I've talked about my gaming background before. I wasn't heavily into PC gaming until like early 2000s, I think. That's when I jumped in. But I still was heavy a console gamer until like 2010-ish, 2013 maybe, in there somewhere. Whoops. Rob was that kid which in modern day would only know COD and FIFA. Okay, I do play Call of Duty, but I didn't start playing Call of Duty till like 2009. I still play it to this day. I love Call of Duty. I stopped for a while, but I love Warzone. I love Modern Warfare 2019, and I am hella hyped for Modern Warfare 2 coming later this year. Okay, I'm pre-ordering that bad boy because that. I know I'm a filthy casual gamer by playing Call of Duties. I don't really play sports games anymore, but it fits in my lifestyle, so I can play games like this. I can read rule books. I can do this YouTube channel. I can play heavy board games, and Call of Duty gives me that. I can jump in and play Call of Duty for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and turn it off and check out. And it's a perfect little escape for me. I don't have time to jump into heavy RPGs or Dark Souls kind of games anymore. I've learned. I tried, but every time I try, I go back and get into a board game and get obsessed with a few board games, and then when I come back, I forget where I'm in the story. I forget what I'm doing. I can't do it. It's too much. Like any of these open world games. I tried Red Dead Redemption 2, couldn't get through it. It's just too much. I don't play Fortnite. I've never played Fortnite. My daughter played it for a while, but it's not cool anymore. So anyways, besides the point. This is all besides the point. But yeah, I'm a filthy COD player, just so you guys know. Yes, I love Call of Duty Warzone, Battle Royale. Playing solo, trying to be the last man standing in a lobby of 150 other people, trying to destroy them and win. Love it. Love it. It's disgusting. But yeah. Okay, so let's talk about games that are alternatives. There's Hexplore It. Okay, Hexplore It. Adventure, fantasy, It gives me that kind of vibe. I would categorize it as something you might want to look into. It is something you can get at retail. It is something that is currently has its pledge manager open till the end of May. It has 4 different versions, I think, now to this point. Just pick whichever one looks the coolest to you. But that is something, if you've never played a Hexplorit game, you might want to look into if you're interested in Euthia. Okay. I would consider that. I've seen people recommending that one online the most, I feel. The second most one I think that was recommended is Mage Knight. And again, I was saying Mage Knight because of the same designer, the same inspiration. But again, Mage Knight is on a much more complex scale. But again, it could give you the same vibe. People describe Euthia as Mage Knight light. So yeah, if you've never played Mage Knight, you might want to look into it, but it might be too much. Bad rule book, complex game, takes a lot to get into that one. Has a high barrier of entry, but it is an amazing game. I love it. I love Mage Knight. I feel like Euthia doesn't even touch Mage Knight to me, but I still love both games. I still play both games. They're both in the same genre of games I love. So like, I wouldn't pick one or the other, but right now you kind of can't pick the other. So Mage Knight might be one you might want to look at. But there's lots of awesome videos out there to help you learn Mage Knight now. If you're worried about the rulebook, that could help it make it easier. Another one is the Heroes of Might and Magic board game coming out later this year. Again, take a look at it. I don't know if it'll be even close to what Euthia does. I doubt it, but it's got the name. A game like Runebound, but again, Runebound is like out of print. So I don't know if I could recommend that, but I did see people online mentioning Runebound as something to look into. If you've never played it, if you want to get the fix, like Euthia, I feel is closer to Runebound. Out of all the games I played that people have been mentioning, I feel like Runebound is the closest to Euthia. But again, the combat, it's like there's so many things that are different, right? It's so different. Other games that I've not played, some of them nobody's really played, but I've seen recommended the City of Kings, Zuriwaya I saw recommended, but again, I've not played it. I don't even know these games. And then Iridia. I saw people recommending Iridia. I think I backed Iridia. But yeah, some people are just recommending those as games people could look at to buy. So there's some games I saw online. I don't know all those games, so I can't recommend all of them, but I know I've played Mage Knight and I love it. I played Runebound. It's awesome. I love the Hexplorit series. Those 3 all scratch my itch of adventuring around a map, getting goodies, and I feel like they all have kind of a beautiful table presence, all in their own way. But yeah, and they're all epic. They take forever to set up. They're all big rule books. You play hours and hours. You leave them set up on a table. You master them. They definitely give you the value for your money if you like the games. They will definitely give you the value back. But again, Runebound, you can't find that, so I don't know. But yeah. Any recommendations in the chat of games if somebody were to come to you and go, "Oh, damn, I wanted Euthia. I don't have a game like it. What would I get?" What do you guys think? Jonas says, to me, Zaya kind of scratches a similar itch, but it's RNG porn. I don't know if you were talking about that question, but I know you guys are having a conversation too about, oh, you guys are talking about like RTS games and stuff. I see. Never mind. Mike says, again, I don't know how to say this name, Zuri, and I don't know anything about it. Zuriwaya? Is that on crowdfunding right now? Let's look it up. I mean, I got time. We can look at this. Let's see. What is this? Late pledge open. Oh, okay. Oh, it only had 597 backers? Ugh. I don't know, man. Oh, hold on. Available on GameFound. What is going on here? Let's go to GameFound. How do you spell it again? Zuriwia. Have we discussed this on a crowdfunding stream before? I might have already looked at this before. I don't know. But again, these all start to blend together. What is this? Project. Pledge levels? I don't know. I don't know. Look at Kickstarter. There's a reprint. Jess is all in on Zuriwia. Okay, hold on. I can find it, guys. 3 created. It's confusing when companies are going back and forth, have stuff on both platforms. Oh, right here. Here we go. It wasn't the first thing that came up in Google. That's not good. Only 530 backers? Hmm. 17 days to go. I don't know. Is that dual layer cardboard boards? Oh boy. I don't know. I feel like I've looked at this before. Maybe I haven't. I don't know. I bet I know what it is. I bet this company sent me an email about this game before. And I said, I'm good. I think that's what it, probably months ago, I was sent an email about this game. And I was like, I think they were on prototype only on TTS. And I just said, no thanks. Yeah. I'm a big believer. I'm in the tabletop gaming hobby. Your prototype, if you believe in your project, make physical prototypes of the physical product you're trying to sell to people. This whole digital thing, I mean, I like that there's a digital option, but I just don't care to play on Tabletop Simulator. When I know you can make prototypes. I know there's companies out there that make prototypes. It's a thing. But yeah, that's just me. Yeah, I don't even care to look at this right now. I don't even care. But anyways, for those that might be interested in something else instead of Euthia, supposedly you could put your money here. And maybe this. I don't think this was competing with Euthia, technically, but again, maybe there is, 200 backers in here that decide to back this instead of Euthia. Maybe, right? It's definitely not the 4,000 Euthia was missing. That's for sure. Shots fired. Jerry says still 17 days could be 541 backers. Yeah, I know. You don't get many after that. But yeah. Wrong link. Man, I went from Google. If your campaign's not coming up in Google search results, you've failed. Like they need to fix something. Jonas says, "Oh, Witcher Old World is also an adventure game with lots of recognition. Euthia easily could have been with the Witcher IP. There was also that Skyrim board game too, right? That was similar, kind of adventuring around the land, doing a bunch of open world sandbox fantasy kind of stuff, right?" Tiny says, "Dungeon Crusade." Yogi says, "I'm back in this instead of Euthia." Okay, Zuriwia. Okay. Yeah. Just looking. Yeah, I think these guys emailed me before. I don't know. It looks cool. This is real. It looks kind of cool, but I don't know enough about it. I have 17 days to look into it. I'll look into it later. If I forget, oh well, there'll be another game to look at. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. FOMO ain't got me. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. Oh, we got some other recommendations. Velko saying Madara. Ooh, I don't know about Madara with an adventure game. Madara's like more hardcore dungeon crawl. But again, if you're looking for a box full of miniatures and a really cool game, yeah, that fits there. Chronicles of Druganor. I backed that again at Dungeon Crawler. I backed that. Hopefully, play that on the channel in the future. I like late pledged it or something, I think. And Runebound 3rd edition Velcro. I mentioned Runebound, but it's like that's like out of print though. I'm hoping Fantasy Flight Games makes like an updated new better version of Runebound would be cool. Maybe give it a different IP or something, but yeah, just something new. Yeah, I think Oathsworn is coming soon, Layla. I think it is coming soon. I think they closed all the pledge manager and everything. Addresses locked in, all that stuff. I feel it was like June. June was the date on that one. Which what I was talking about that earlier in the stream, actually saying that's some of the competition is games that people have been getting delivered recently. If you got big new games showing up right now, you're not as excited to go back other games online, right? You got stuff you can play now, right? And there was that backlog because of the shipping crisis and because of COVID. A lot of games people backed in 2018, 2019, 2020 that they were supposed to have already are just starting to show up or showing up in the next couple of months. Yeah, Yogi says Oathsworn sounds like it could be June, July. Shipping soon. TM. Oh, that was a reply to. Oh no, but Layla, no, it's still on topic. It's all good. Yeah. I know. I'm trying to keep chat straight, and I can't. I'm trying. You guys know I suck at this. Tiny says, just save your money until the next hot game in a few months, or weeks, or days, or hours. Like these pop up all the time. The other thing is, if the support is really there, if the people at Euthia are getting messages from people, maybe the other employees, you know, maybe there's some people rallying around, maybe some other publisher reaches out. It might not be the last we've seen of Euthia. Definitely, I think there's a good chance. Definitely a chance. Yes. I 100% agree. There is like another a small percent chance. 60% of the time, all the time, it's going to happen. All right. But yeah, it might not be the last we've seen of Euthia. You know, maybe somebody reaches out and says, we'll throw some money at you. Maybe somebody will come in and help them out. Maybe another publisher will reach out to them and hire on the designer, you know, and then publish it from them. You know, maybe rework some things, maybe, you know, shrink down the expansion, separate it out into multiple, you know, bring out separate campaigns. Maybe they take the base game of Euthia and they find a way to make it a little more retail friendly, you know, and maybe Euthia, something of a smaller entry point into the Euthia game could be something we see on a web store and retail or on Amazon in the future. You never know. But again, on the other side of the coin, generally looking, it's another giant box, possibly miniature filled, depending on which SKU you're looking at, fantasy themed board game. And no offense, there like a new one pops up on crowdfunding every couple days. And there's ones in your retail store. There's ones on Amazon. They're all over the place. There's always constant ones being reprinted, new ones coming out, ones trying to fund, some delivering. If you're looking for a fantasy game to put on your table, to take up your table, to adventure around, find loot, you know, they're there. There's a whole bunch of them. You know, so yeah. On the other side, like I think after a few weeks, Euthia will just be forgotten and people move on. It's just the way it is. I feel bad for the company Dia Games. Hopefully they can find a way to get back into creating board games. It sucks they seem to have put all their eggs in one basket and it destroyed the company and they didn't have anything else bringing in money other than just Euthia. And Euthia is not for everyone. It is in a price point that does not make it mass market friendly. And so they don't have that there. But again, there's the exceptions like Gloomhaven that show you can have a, $150 board game that makes enough, coming in, you can fund a whole bunch of other projects, But that's the exception. That's the very rare exception, to be honest. So it's just what I think. I think the real issue is, and they could have turned things around, if they just had Euthia, the first one, they didn't hit COVID, and they were able to fund an extra amount, thousands of copies they could have had on their web store, and be still getting Euthia in more people's hands and didn't sell out of it like instantly. I think they thought the hype would have came on the crowdfunding campaign, but I think if they were actually keep it in stock for a few months and people were able to keep buying it and playing the base game, it would have built up more excitement for an expansion crowdfunding campaign, would have got word of mouth out there. Maybe some people would have played it and want their own copy, and they would have had money coming in, right, from some retail sales or some web store sales. I don't know, but I don't run the business. I don't know. But literally, if you think about it, all their money came in on one crowdfunding campaign, some money came in on their web store, and it was gone. And nothing else is making the money from then, and many months are going by until now. And even now, they aren't making money until the campaign ends. So they were still 2 weeks away from getting another paycheck. And that's not good to have your business living paycheck to paycheck. Like, that's not a stable way to survive, right? And that's just the way they were. And it's unfortunate. Yeah, if the shipping during COVID didn't kill them, I agree, Sakabra. I should probably bring that one up. Yeah, if shipping didn't times 10, they'd have been fine. I agree. Yep. They might have made some profit on their first run, been able to buy some more copies, make another print run maybe just to sell at retail or sell on their web store. Could have had some more income coming in to fund the new expansion and stuff, But I still think they should have spread it out, played the little breadcrumbs, came back to crowdfunding as quick as possible after the first one delivered and sold out, and came back with a small expansion. Not even finished, just come back with a small expansion. Here's what we want to do. Here's a way to get their game again. Let's fund another print run. Boom. And then they continue working on the next expansion for the next year, come out with, we see companies like Chip Theory Games, Cool Mini or Not, Mythic Games, all these companies that just live off of crowdfunding. They just keep coming up with a new campaign on a schedule, and it keeps their company afloat, and it helps pay for issues that come up in previous campaigns, but they always just have a new one coming. That's how they fund their company. That's how they survive, right? Although you'd argue some of those companies like Simon make retail sales all over the place. We also know Chip Theory Games makes retail sales from their web store also, but a lot of their stuff sells out because they rely on crowdfunding to pay for those print runs. So I don't think they're making like mad profit off the web store, right? So yeah, if crowdfunding just closed down, a lot of these companies would just go out of business because they like survive off that money, those campaigns. And if they have heavy competition, that might put them out of business on one campaign failing. And it's too bad. It's too bad. Layla says, I honestly don't know how they expected 6,000 backers on an expansion campaign when originally had 4,300 backers. This campaign financially was doing better. It was too much. Yeah, I agree. I can see that. Yep, the math wasn't there. You know what I think? I think they thought that if they probably got excited when the game released, and remember when we played it and it came out in their web store, we did that one stream, I think in January, and they said, Rob, it's coming to our web store. It's going to be in stock. Can you stream the game around that time? I streamed it when it was in the web store and it sold out like that day. Like they didn't have a lot, obviously. And they probably took that as like, oh my God, the demand is there. People really want our game. And there's people that didn't know about it the first time around. There's people that missed it. There's people that went to our web store and didn't buy it. They couldn't buy it because it was sold out. So we're going to have this huge amount of people that want our game and have to have it. Plus the returning 4,000 backers, 4,300 backers that must have our expansion. Maybe the hype of the small vocal few in their Facebook groups, their Discords and all that led them to believe that returning backers would have been at least, 3,000 to 4,000 at least would have came back just looking for more new content. And then they probably thought they'll have a few thousand that will come in who missed the game the first time, who maybe just heard about it, maybe need to have it. They'll come in and just buy the base game. And then they probably thought we're going to buy a few for our web store and sell those later too. And some late pledges. They probably estimated like they were going to get like 10,000, you know, but they needed 6. So something was wrong there. Something was wrong. It's sad, really. Oh, that's another game. Velko mentioned another one. Journeys in Middle Earth. Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle Earth, technically, right? If you're okay with the app-driven stuff, it's an adventure game, fantasy-themed adventure game. That does scratch some of the itch, right? You're running around, you're finding loot, you're going on an expanding map. There's a lot of similarities there, actually. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities there. That I forgot about that one. That's a good one. Yogi asks, when spreading war? I don't know. Since Star Wars Imperial Assault's going to take like a year to play 10 scenarios, it might be sometime in a few years. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm honestly on the fence with Star Wars Imperial Assault, the campaign we're playing. I'm debating, I'm like 50-50 on ending it and just playing something else, or ending it and just playing the full co-op app-driven version, or just continuing it because it is kind of fun. I don't know. Like, people seem to be enjoying it from a viewer perspective. But it's just like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, we're hopefully playing it next Tuesday. But it's like cursed. It's cursed. Mark saying Thunderstone Quest is cool. I want to get Thunderstone Quest. It's just sold out at my local game store. I missed out on that one. I was going to buy it at retail, and when I actually decided to buy it at retail, I couldn't find it. Maybe I'll see it again. It's something I want to try. I do have Thunderstone Advance, and I do love Thunderstone. It's one of my original deck builders that got me hooked on deck building. But yeah, I do want to play Thunderstone Quest at some point. But I'm not losing sleep over it, though, if I can't get it. So no big deal. Blue Steel's asking, are you getting Iridia? I believe we backed Iridia. I believe we did. Hold on, let me check my spreadsheet. Hold on. I forget. I honestly forget. It's hard to keep track of. Some of them I back, some of them I don't back, some of them I late back, some of them I wait for retail. It's hard to keep it all straight. I think I did, though. Yes, I did. Yeah, I backed Iridia. So hopefully you'll see that on the channel in the future. Unless I get it, play it, and it's garbage, then you probably won't see it on the channel. Yeah. So if you're looking for games like Euthia, coming to the channel, big epic fantasy games that are going to make me frustrated trying to fit them all on camera because they're all big table hogs. I have Iridia, Oathsworn coming, more Too Many Bones coming, Frosthaven, Seventh Citadel, Witcher Old World, Earthborn Rangers, Elder Scrolls, Chronicles of Druganor, Hexplorit, Domain of Mirza Noctis, and others. There's many others, but yeah, that's just some of the games that yeah, we'll be hopefully streaming all those at some point on the channel. But those are the things I've backed. Some of the things, that's like half the things I have backed right now that I'm waiting to show up. Not to mention games from other publishers, you know, press copies and stuff like that of things that I would have backed, but they prefer that I support them by, you know, covering the games. So, you know. So yeah. Sleeping Gods 2, I'll just get at retail. That's the plan on there. Yeah. Sakabra says those games alone can have over a year of content. Yeah, each one. Each one of those I feel like has a year of content. Oh my god. Yes. Anyways, Cassie's asking, would you be trying something like Dead Reckoning? I don't know. Is that the pirate game? I don't know much about Dead Reckoning. I'm sorry. Will I play in the future? Never say never. But man, there's way too many games to have them all and play them all on the channel. So I got to pick and choose. And that one obviously just didn't make the cut for now. But yeah. I try to be selective. Again, when I play games and stream them multiple episodes, and you know, I can only there's only 52 weeks in the year, and some weeks I spend learning like a giant game and then I play that game for like a month, You know, it's hard to fit in all the games that are awesome that come out. So I just have to understand some hit the cutting room floor. Some don't make it. Some I buy and play and don't make it to stream. Other ones I'll buy in 4 years and I'll play them. Like we're playing Star Wars Imperial Assault for the first time. That game's been around since 2014. I thought I would never touch it. Arkham Horror LCG. I said I would never get into that game. And we've played through multiple campaigns on the channel many years after the game came out. So yeah, so I would never say never to any game. I just like to play great games and games I choose to play on the channel primarily. So I try to be a little different in that aspect. So yeah. So that's just how we roll here. That's how we roll. Derek, Dean, thank you so much for subscribing. And again, I'm different from other channels. I don't get a lot of press copies. I don't get paid 99.9% of the time for content I do here. It's all supported by Patreon, by donations, by YouTube members clicking the join button. So if you want to support this channel, allowing me to buy more games than I currently buy or back more projects than I currently back, it's all funded by me doing this full time and the support from our patrons and our YouTube members and the people who come and donate. So I appreciate all that, allowing me to do this. So keep in mind, we do it here a little different than other channels. I'm not about playing all the new hotness. I'm not about playing all the new things. So you guys who've been here a while know this. But it's Rob's gaming table, not whatever this week's hot game is to talk about. This is not the normal videos you see on the channel. Normally we play through great games, no matter how long they take, no matter how hard they are to learn. Just we're looking for great games, having fun, playing through them live, hanging out with an amazing live chat, playing for an amazing community, watching the channel. So anyone who's new here, was just hanging out, wanted to come for the drama, yeah, that's what we do here. So I appreciate you guys. But again, any of that money that helps me do this full time, helps me afford cameras, lights, computers, Kickstarter games, expansions, you know, building my game collection to play on the channel. I spend that money like it's my money, and you guys see me. I am picky. I am choosy. I look for deals. I don't back things blindly. I try to do best with the money, like I'm in your situation, which I am. I'm just another gamer looking to find cool games and add them to my collection. I'm not just about pumping out the content and promoting games, but I do try to show you guys games that are cool as best I can. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at. So hopefully that made sense. I should have said all that stuff at the beginning, but I always forget. I forget to market the channel and myself more than I should. But hopefully the quality speaks for it, and hopefully, you know, you guys have fun and hang out. And yeah, anyways, thank you everyone for your support. I need to get out of here though. I'm going to go eat some lunch, and we're back streaming in 1 hour, playing some Gloomhaven. Casual Fridays, Gloomhaven with Kanji. I think Mel's joining us this week, right? Kanji, I don't know if you're still here. I don't have Discord open. But I think, was it Kate this week that can't play? Kate or Cynthia can't play. I forget which one this week can't play. But yeah, we'll be playing a scenario of Gloomhaven Digital, just having fun, hanging out. If you want to continue the conversation, come hang out in that stream. Totally okay during Friday Gloomhaven Digitals to just be chatting about whatever. It's all good. We're just playing some Gloomhaven casually. So yeah, come and hang out in that chat. But anyways, I appreciate you all. Thank you for the chat. Thank you for discussing this situation. It's been emotional for me over the last couple days, seeing this and not knowing like how to feel. But again, I went from angry to sad to like happy, all in there. I don't know. It's too bad. I was looking forward to these Euthia expansions. I was looking forward to more Euthia in the future. I was looking forward to seeing this company grow and make some other cool games. But I don't know. Will that happen? Hopefully. But there's still a chance. There's always a chance, right? There's always a chance we see more Euthia. But again, you know, maybe not, unfortunately. It's just the nature of the business. But thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe if you want to find your way back and watch more. Join us in more live streams. If you're looking for other content, check out our playlist section. Looking for big epic games like Euthia, playthroughs of things, other discussions like this. You know, join us in the future. Hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like to support the channel, donation links are in the video description. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next stream. Bye-bye.